Colonel Diego Ortiz Padilla had a bad feeling about this expedition to found a mission deep in the wilds of Apache. He had little use for the priest who accompanied them, but as a professional soldier, he did his duty and arrived on the scenic banks of the San Saba River on April 17, 1757. The location had plentiful water and nice stands of native pecans along the banks. Ortiz Padilla believed it was as good a location as could be found in the region. His 100 soldiers built a log fort on the north bank and proclaimed the creation of Presidio San Luis de las Amarillas. His troops and their families also dug acequias, irrigation ditches, and channeled the river to support farming. The enterprise was off to a good start. Ortiz Padilla also sent scouts to explore the region, hoping to locate silver deposits that would justify this risky venture. The 6 priests that had come along had other plans. Father Alonso Geraldo de Terreros and his companions built their log mission 4 miles downstream and on the south bank. He wanted a little distance and a river between their church work and Ortiz Padilla and his troops. Perhaps the separation might help avoid further bickering between the priests and soldiers. The Padres had a problem. The Apaches did not show up. Several hundred rode by that summer on their way to hunt buffalo on the plains of West Texas, but only a few showed any interest in moving into the mission. Most simply rode away. 3 of the priests, discouraged, gave up and returned to Bear. That winter was hard, and the Spanish livestock died. Indians also stole many of their horses. Spanish troopers pursued the raiders, but returned with reports of native war bands roaming the region. The Apaches, other than 2 or 3 that had converted over the course of 10 months, still avoided the mission. Based on these signs and lack of progress, Ortiz Padilla recommended that the 3 priests, their assistants, the few soldiers guarding the mission, and the handful of Apaches take refuge in the Presidio. The religious leaders refused. On March 17, 1758, more than 2,000 Indians arrived at the mission. Many were familiar Tonkawas, Caddos, and Wichitas, but there were others the priests did not recognize. These were probably Comanches. The Spanish inside the mission compound believed, maybe hoped, the native peoples meant no harm and had arrived for religious instruction. They opened the gates. Then chaos ensued. In just a few moments, the mission was burning, and many of its people were dead or dying. Some had fled into the brush to escape the mayhem. Terreros was dead, as was his assistant, Father Jose de Santiesteban Abarin. The 3rd priest, Miguel Molina, escaped, though severely wounded. Having drawn blood, the natives rode to the Presidio. Inside was only a third of its garrison, since the other troops were out in the country on assignments. The raiders were well armed, with traditional weapons, but also with muskets. Still, they could not find a way to capture the fort. The well-mounted Indians rode off over the horizon when Spanish reinforcements arrived. Ortiz Padilla was stunned. Who were these mysterious Indians from the north? He called them Los Norteños. Where had the Apaches gone? The veteran officer grew convinced that the Spanish had been played, tricked, into coming out there to create a barrier between the Apaches and their new enemies. Ortiz Padilla would get even.